Hello and welcome to ArchD Radio. Today you're listening to CC Radio at Cardijn. I'm your host Edison and I've got Sienna with me today. Say hi, Sienna.
Hi, Edison.
For a change of pace from our normal themes in the world of podcasting, we're talking about cancer in youths. If this is a topic you're not comfortable with, please feel free to listen to any other episode from our series. But today we're just going to go over what cancer is and how exactly it impacts youths. Now, Sienna, to better understand this topic, I've just got a few questions that I'm going to ask you and we can just discuss things from there. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds absolutely amazing. And as much as I would love to say I was an expert on this topic, really not. Love the research that we did put behind this story. For the amazing doctors who did reach back out to us, huge shout out to Anna Perry for this. She was an amazing help.
Yeah, we did reach out to a couple resources and we're definitely not experts by any means. But we're just going over the things we found out from our research just to bring a little more awareness to the topic.
Okay.
So here is the first question I have for you. What do you know about cancer? I know this is a more serious topic, but I'm just asking about the social side, maybe specifically. I mean, we all go to school, and I think we can all agree that it's great for our mental health and social lives as well.
Yeah, so from what I do know, and I'm speaking from more what you've asked, the more social level from this. One big part about it that I've noticed is that people with cancer aren't able to come into school physically as much. Sure, there are ways to come in at certain certain points to have certain in school days or out of school days, depending on how you're feeling. But also we've seen it actually in our school before. One of the kids on our year level who's going to stay unnamed, he was facing cancer last year, I believe. Very sweet guy. But you could really see the impact in his friends as well, or his main group that he used to hang out with, and how it also impacted them as well. Bless their hearts. They were very worried about their friend, and the school did bring awareness about it to the cohort. I'm assuming that was with parental consent and from him as well.
Yeah, because when you have a condition that's serious, you're at hospital the majority of your time, right?
Yeah, you would be at the hospital majority of your time, so.
Yeah, so that definitely has a big impact on your social life.
Yeah, absolutely. And one part of that, which I found really interesting, Anna did bring this up with us, was that there is in school hospitals, which I didn't know about before doing some research about this. Did you know anything about it? I
did not know about in-school hospitals. That's actually a pretty good idea because that addresses the issues we brought up as the social life. If you could go to an in-school hospital for that kind of treatment, then you could still see your friends and whatnot. But I just worry that in-school hospitals you can only attend during school time, right?
So I'm actually really glad that you brought that up. One thing that did come up about this was in school hospitals, from what we found, is majority online courses. You can have an educator come in at certain points, but it would be during a hospital's set hours. Or if you're at home, it would need to be during the day, during that 9 to 3 kind of time slot, which can I feel that would come in contact with appointments as well.
I've actually never heard anything about this.
Okay.
So just so tell me a little bit about it. So is a school within a hospital or a hospital within a school?
Yeah, no. It's online schooling, pretty much. It's giving, youths more of the chance to have that experience.
That would allow them to continue with their schooling from hospital.
Yeah, it does. And I don't know about you, but, that's kind of one thing that I feel a lot of parents or, guardians would worry about.
Yeah. Actually, on the topic of parents, does that mean that the parents would have more stress on them considering, their child is facing such a big illness, or is there anything that they would struggle with more and maybe need more help with?
Actually, I'm really glad that you brought this up. So I know we focus on the youths because they're the one handling with the sickness, and we should absolutely support them however we can. But a lot of things that came, like, from, like, other parents who have dealt with, like, kids who have cancer, they, like, go under a lot of stress, individual planning, like, the responsibility, especially if you're, like, at home as well. If you don't have that medical experience, I feel like that could really impact it. There's, like, financial burdens as well, which I feel like it would be one thing that would be, like, at the forefront of most people's minds when it comes to, oh yeah, we're raising money for cancer.
Yeah.
And we actually got a few quotes from some parents as well. So we asked them, like, oh yeah, what are you struggling with? What's one thing, even with, like, the online schooling as well, how it impacts them? One parent said, I just would have liked that to be proper free race. Sometimes I wasn't included in the hospital to school communication, and would have helped me to know what's going on. It became tricky because I was either running it or excluded from it, which that sounds horrible. Like, with online schooling and your kid facing an illness, that sounds like absolute hell to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in my opinion, communication is the forefront of every single experience, and it should be one of the top priorities in both schooling and hospital visits at all times. So,
yeah, for sure. The financial side would be a big thing as well, because not only are they dealing with such an impactful thing, like, they've also got to look at the financial side. They can't just worry about just their child. They have to worry about themselves a little as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are, like, insurance and there's, like, financial help that, like, some hospitals do give, which we are going to be, like, putting into the show notes afterwards. So if people want to go and have a look and see what can be further helped, absolutely. But also, if you have multiple children as well, I feel like that would have not a harder strain, but I feel like it would be more tricky at times and put more stress on you.
Well, yeah, for sure. And you just mentioned earlier the financial help that brings up the question of what we can actually do to help these parents, you know, or even further, the families, because it's clear that if the child is having this, also has siblings or sometimes cousins, is there much that maybe even they could help out with?
Yeah, I actually have another quote from a parent, which bless their hearts, and thank you for, like, sending this forward. They, like, I feel like I always had to drive it. I was exhausted. I've had enough working out what meds she, like, the child with cancer was on, which protocol she was on, and she was all right. And whether my son, like, another sibling, was all right and was also looking after him. And I'm like, oh, that would be, like, really tough. And I know it was Flinders and other, like, cancer organizations, so, like, Cancer for Kids, they do give the option to be like, oh, here's, like, go to this, like, program, and it's, like, support groups for siblings. But from what I saw, it was, like, it only went up to, like, 12 years old, which I don't fully agree with. And I feel like we should also be giving support to those older siblings as well. Yeah, there was support for, like, parents and grandparents, like, immediate family, which I think is something that we can help with, is, like, giving that space to be like, here's some help, and yes, we will raise money, but also, do you want people to know more, so when they do come back to school, it's not like a shell shock of, like, oh my god, you're back, so you must be, like, 100% again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, from what I saw with, like, research and stuff, it's, as sad as it is, it's never going to be that, like, 100% I'm going to bounce back in an instant. It's the same with every single kind of illness that anyone would face. You're going to get better over time, but to start that, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy. And you need to ease back in instead of just being thrown into the deep end and just be like, hey, look, you don't have cancer anymore, you're totally all better, let's throw you back into school, where you might be behind. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, that brings up almost like a whole broader issue, right? But it's like, it's not just the physical toll, like, even if you may be physically 100% better, the mental toll, like, the awareness just isn't quite there, I don't think.
Yeah, and I mean, from my perspective at least, I would actually quite like to, like, know about it. Like, if someone in our school, God forsake, I hope not, does get cancer again, I feel like that cohort, or at least like their friends or their home group, should have like a Friday homeroom or something to like learn about what cancer is, past the like, this is what cancer is to the body, here's what the rest of it does, and the actual physical and emotional and mental toll.
Like, I would want to know what I could do to help or support the person.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I don't know about you, but like, I feel like there is a strange kind of like blessing where it's like, if you're an older kid, communication, because we have social media, it does help in some way to be like, I can still talk to my friends without having to like go out or them having to come in, because I can communicate that way. But that does raise questions about the recent like social media ban for under 16s.
Yeah, because someone is under 16 and they don't have access to social media, and they don't have access to communication.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I know I didn't always have like social media when I was younger. Like, so you would have like phone numbers and stuff. But I feel like it just doesn't really help out the same, because you do kind of like get closed off from a online community. So with the like online community stuff, like you can like reach out more and find out like, hey, can we have this conversation? Or I feel like even Reddit, strangely enough, could supply with like an online community so you wouldn't feel as isolated even.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just that with messages, it's just not what people are using these days.
Yeah, that is true.
But, I mean, yeah, it just goes to show the issues that these children are facing socially.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we mentioned it a little bit, like, coming back to them, what can we actually do to help them?
Yeah, that's the factor where we, as like, if we had friends, from what we saw and from conversations, especially with Anna and the sources that she provided, and from like childhood cancer programs as well, it was all about keep connected with your friends if you can. Offer to be there, but like show up to fundraisers as well. So I'm pretty sure one of our schools does like a fundraiser for cancer. If not, it does happen during the year through like other groups and other social movements. So it's definitely something that is taken.
Well, yeah, that thing about being connected 100% makes sense, because what I've established today is sometimes donating itself isn't enough, because I mean, as previously said before, you know, the parents may need the funds, but the children themselves, they just need connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, because, you know, donating is still greatly appreciated, because, you know, it does cost money. Like, apart from maybe fundraisers at school, is there any other way you can contribute?
You can volunteer at like different, not hospitals themselves, but sometimes like childhood cancer or sometimes other cancer foundations. They'll run like events as well. So like festivals or like a carnival or something. I would say like show up to those even, because I'm going in with like full assumption, and what I found is like that all the funds from that do go to like families, but also if there are like people there who like also are facing cancer, you might also find a bit more of a community there as well, which I think would be really important.
Yeah, that aspect of finding a community of people who are also facing the same issue to help you get through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aside from like fundraisers, specifically talking about maybe younger people affected with cancer, what's some other ways that they can see support?
Yeah, so for like younger kids, which for me, what I've seen on like social media and like when it comes to advertisement, they're like the ones that come to the forefront of just like, hey, raise money for this family. They've got like a child, let's say age 5 or something, who's facing cancer. And it always breaks my heart to see it. But hospitals themselves, for like primary students who are like maybe like past like year 2 or 3, so still in like that younger age group before high school, and like I feel like that's when a lot of social development helps. They like reach out to if the kid had like an extracurricular like team, if that was like art, music, or even sport, and just be like, hey, we would like to keep connections going. can we do something with you? Or even with like younger, like pre-K to like toddlers to year 2, I would say. Hospitals like help facilitate connection through like soft toys and story times. So I would imagine that would be like getting a group of kids together, if that's like in the same hospital or in the same ward, and just having time for like the younger kids to like hang out and just like have something regulating as well. So like we all love soft toys when we were younger. That's like a go-to. Story times are peak. They're so sweet.
I still love soft toys.
Honestly, so fair. Don't we all? It's just it's something that everyone needs, I think. But they don't really have that connection to like social media or like even phone numbers, like you said before. I know with Gen Alpha, there is like more of them are on like iPads or on phones or like have other ways of connecting, which we normally just go like, hey, no, get off your iPad. But in this situation, I feel like that would actually be better. Like if, Messenger kids, like that is purposely made for kids to communicate with each other. And I feel like that would actually help out a lot, especially if you're playing like video games together and you have like shared screen or whatever and you can talk through it. I think that's like one of the most important things that you can get if you can't get that like in-person contact. Yeah, but hospitals also like with younger patients, they do like put that face-to-face visiting like as a priority wherever it can happen. Like if that's through friends, like through like a sports team or something, or even just like through family and like other people, having that face-to-face contact so that they can like build those social skills, especially when they get older into like middle or high school as well.
So we've talked a little bit about what cancer is and how it can affect youth, but we've also talked a little bit about who exactly is affected surrounding these people, like their parents and their siblings and broader family, and also their friends, and how their friends and family and you and me can support these people, because, you know, they are going through a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have any more questions, but are there any more things that you would like to talk about?
Thanks for opening the floor for that. I think that, like, final comments, I know I've, like, already said it, and we've brought it up multiple times. Just be there for, like, if you know someone who is facing it, just be there for them. Like, it doesn't, like, even need to be the big grand actions, or if you can't get the money to be like, hey, I can't give you money for a fundraiser, but I'm here and I can, like do research or I can educate myself. I think that would also speak a lot more than just to the person facing cancer than just be like, hey, here's some money to get better, but I still don't know what's happening and I don't know how to support you. Because I feel like those actions of just like, hey, I've done some research and I kind of know what's going on and I would like to know how to support you better. I feel like that would actually be more important, and like it would speak to me like if someone I knew was going through that.
Yeah,
I would rather the actions.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, think about like all the times where you've gone through a tough moment in your life, just having someone in your corner, like actively supporting and helping you and trying to make the experience better for you. It just makes all the difference. So if you're listening today and you know someone or a friend or family member that's going through this, just be there for them, I think, is the main takeaway.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and if you are looking to provide financial aid, I do think we have some resources attached to this.
Yeah, we'll put some like foundations into our show notes where you can find out more about the episode and some other programs based in Australia that can help.
Yeah, so if you're looking to help do that way, just go through the show notes. Now, thank you very much for listening. Again, this is ArchD Radio, and you're listening to Sienna and Eddison. That's me from Cardijn. For more episodes from ArchD, have a look in the show notes. It's a bit of a heavier topic today, but I hope it did spread some awareness. And
yeah, thank you for having me on the episode, Edison, as well.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me as the host.
Yeah, anytime.